Hi, my name is Rohit. The thesis that I worked on was titled Innovative Solutions in Last Mile Delivery, the role of drone resupply, right? So the context of this is simple. We notice that e-commerce has captured a lot of the retail sales in the world, about 20% actually. It's projected to increase, right? And at the same time, as customers, we want our products faster, always faster. I remember the time when Amazon used to deliver it, the delivery promise was about 7 days, but now it has moved to next day delivery or even same day delivery. So that's the expectation as customers that we have, right? The parcels need to come faster. At the same time, we also have this thing going on that we realize that as customers, we want our passes not just fast, but also in convenient time slots as well. We want it at a particular part of the day. Otherwise, you have a busy day. You're probably in a meeting or something, and if the person comes in and then starts calling you up, then that's a nuisance, right? So that's what customers require the parcels to be faster and at the same time delivered within a convenient time slot. So all these expectations of the customer uh, largely makes the whole job extremely challenging, right? The people who are actually fulfilling these requirements. So this order fulfillment, as we call it, is essentially what happens behind the scenes. Once you place an order, how does the order actually come to you, right? So the parcel is somewhere in a warehouse, somewhere far away probably, and then it is transported to your particular city through a series of warehouses. And then finally, from this point, it is now sent to your home by a particular person in a smaller truck. Now, this final leg is what we call as a last mile delivery. Because last mile delivery is extremely challenging and extremely costly. Now, just to visualize or build an intuition, think about this. If you're traveling from Mumbai to Delhi, probably let's say your train costed you about say 1,500 rupees or something like that. But then, if you take a cab from Delhi to your homes, you might approximately pay the same amount of rupees, right? Now, why is that? That is simply because a lot of you were on the train or on the vehicle from Mumbai to Delhi, so the per unit cost has reduced. But at the same time, from Delhi the railway station probably to your particular homes, only you have to travel, right? Only one particular address, one particular person. So now it's much more costly. So that's it. So despite the huge decrease in distance that you're traveling, you're paying approximately the same cost. That is what happens in parcels as well. The last mile delivery is extremely challenging. And now that we say we want our parcels faster within a particular time slot and everything, the whole process is extremely challenging. So we wanted to work on the last mile delivery. So what happened earlier was that, okay, now all these parcels from somewhere far away comes to your local warehouse. They gets collected, aggregated and everything, and they're sent out in smaller trucks. But and they're sent out in smaller trucks in the next day, right? So you have enough time to do all this. But when it's faster deliveries, so when the delivery trucks have now gone out to complete their deliveries, at the same time, new set of parcels come in which need to be delivered the same day as well. So that would mean that either what could you do as an operator? You could probably increase your fleet size, that is, add more trucks to your delivery fleet, right? That would help you deliver this later arriving parcels. Or you could probably ask the truck drivers to take up multiple trips. Increasing the fleet size will, of course, increase the operational cost. But making multiple trips might mean that you miss the delivery slot that the customer had said, right? Because of congestion and everything. Taking up multiple trips is always going to be time consuming and it is also going to be costly. What you were suggesting is why not think about drones, right? Well, drones are becoming slowly popular in the Western countries and even in India. There's a lot of testing that's going on. So, what is drones? They are this autonomously operating vehicles that fly through air, right? So, the good thing about this is that can go faster, it avoids all the congestion and everything. But how does drone solve this issue? Right? This late arriving parcels can be picked up from the depot by the drones and then delivered to the delivery trucks by the drones as well. So that would mean the trucks don't have to come back, or you don't have to add more trucks to your fleet. Mind you, at this point, no, we developed a decision support tool that can help uh, plan and operate these kind of delivery setups. But when at this point, let us understand the scope. When we did not consider any fixed cost or infrastructure cost or regulatory cost that would come into the whole place, right? Like you might require infrastructure, you might require to pay certain amount of money for clearances from the government. And of course, a lot of countries don't have existing infrastructure that can support this. So this is a bit forward-looking in that sense. But once you have all this set up in, what happens is what we try to study. Like, how do you exactly plan the whole operations aspect? So this is at an operational level, right? So when we did this, we understood that if you compare this kind of setups to a conventional setup for the only trucks, you can get an increase of say 13% of savings, right? Of 13% operational cost savings. And most of the savings come from the reduced labor charges because now trucks do not have to wait at the depots or at different points, and the drivers don't have to wait at different points for the parcels to arrive. Right? So there's significant savings because of that, and we notice this 13% savings. At the same time, we notice that setups like this allow you to delay the cutoff time. What is that? Well, in next day delivery or same day delivery, the kind of rapid delivery requirements that we have, we are given a cutoff time, right? So you have to say order the parcels before 10 p.m. so that you get your delivery the next day. So that is a cutoff time. Now, if you increase the cutoff time to say 12 p.m., that would mean you can net more number of orders, probably the later arriving orders. But at the same time, what happens is that now you're complicating your entire operations, right? Like now parcels come later to your local depot from warehouses, and that would complicate the entire thing. So in these kind of setups where you want to delay the cutoff time, this drone resupply can be really useful. So these were some of the important things, and then finally we understood also some analysis on the kind of customer distributions, right? Like in cities, you have very dense customer distributions, and as you go to semi-urban or something like that, you get a bit more randomly distributed customers. We noticed that this kind of setups are working much better in a bit more semi-urban kind of setup where customer density is not that high. Finally, we also wanted to improve the fairness of workload allocation. What does that mean? And why is it important for business? Well, when you optimize these kind of setups only for cost, what happens is that some of the drivers are given higher workload while the others are given much lesser workload, right? Uh, if that happens, you might operate at a very less cost, but at the same time, your drivers are some of your drivers become extremely fatigued and their loss of morale and everything. Now, why should we care as businesses if your driver is fatigued and if there is an issue, stressed and everything? That directly translates to your customers, right? Because customers do not directly interact with you. For them, the face is always your delivery workers. They are the ones who with whom they interact. So at this point, if the interaction is bad because of stress or fatigue, as shown in various studies, then you can get into arguments and everything, and then just ruins it for the customer. Right? The entire delivery experience is ruined, despite you getting the parcels at the right time. If that happens, it is shown that even the newer customers or the Gen Z would stop ordering altogether from the same platform. So we want to also, so that would mean that we also want to improve the fairness of the whole thing with respect to the workload allocation for the workers and not just the operational cost. And we developed a model for that as well, so that decision support model is available to improve the fairness of the workload allocation and not just the operational cost. So yeah, so that was about it. We developed some models and we developed some complicated algorithms using machine learning and everything. And we were able to solve this kind of an issue. But some of the key limitation would, of course, be that we did not consider a lot of exigencies that would happen, right? Like we break down what if the customer is not available. All these things are not really included. Probably we'll study this in future research, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'm very thankful to my guides, Professor Ramkumar, Professor Ramesh Krishnan, and Professor Anand Ghatak for the constant advice and support which helped me do this kind of work. And also the certain examiners who helped me improve this work, right? So Professor Sumanta Basu from IIM Calcutta, Professor Ram Gopalan from Rutgers University. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you. So that is about my thesis.